Chapter 14, entitled Buttering Biscuits, treats of the inevitable changeover of power from parent to child, often demonstrated by means of family jokes and teasing, but nonetheless real for that. This very book. Much of the children's teasing of Giulia revolved around the writing of this very book. Both Orlando and Sophia honed in unerringly on any insecurities and on their mother's sometimes bizarre work methods. Orlando, 15, and Giulia were taking a train from Campbelltown into Sydney. Barely seated, Giulia had extricated a notebook from her bag and was scribbling furiously. "What are you doing, Mum?" "Writing some notes. I just thought of something. I have to get this stuff down. You probably think I'm mad, don't you?" "Yes, you're a total mixture. Italian muse, mother, obsessed writer," starting to imitate his mother, putting on a wild-eyed distraction and a staccato delivery. "Oh, good. I better make a note. And another. Bungee jumping. Jumping out of a helicopter. Scribble, scribble. Safari trip. I wrote 3 books. I went on 1 expedition. I had 4 meals. It took 3 years. Notes on notes. The opera. Oh, no!" On another occasion, Sophia, 9, asked Giulia to come to her bedroom to say goodnight and tuck her in. Before long, this night, the pleasant mood evaporated. Sophia, in a hectoring tone, "Now, about your book. How much exactly have you written?" "Well, it's coming along. There have been a lot of distractions, to put it mildly." Sophia insisted. "I want to know how much you've written, and how much is about me, in quarters." It was the end of a long day. Giulia was beginning to get upset. Sophia continued. "I'm not going to let you publish if you write horrible things about me, about my past, and I don't want the truth either." This went on for some time, with Giulia on the defensive, outlining a mini-lecture on the fictionalising aspects of memoir, the deliberate play between objective and subjective, the use of irony, the difference between the Sophia character of the book and Sophia the person. She invoked Bakhtin and Carnival. She dwelt on the peculiar challenges, especially ars est celare artem. The art is to conceal the art of life-writing. She moved on to Barthes and writerly texts. She touched on postmodernism, experience-based, interested and evaluative hermeneutics, and she finished with observations on neo-feminist multivalency of meaning in biographical writing. Sophia was completely unmoved. Finally, feeling crushed, Giulia left the room and started off down the hall. She got as far as Orlando's room. Orlando from inside his room. "Sophia uses you up, Mum. I get the dregs, like the inferior coal at the end of a mining seam." Sophia's voice continued to follow Giulia down the hallway. "As an act of vengeance, you pretend to write quality literature. I'll have to consult my lawyer. I want to read what you're writing. I want royalties for the use of my comments if repeated, including the comment I've just made about you writing as an act of vengeance." Giulia mouthed silently, "Go away." Orlando to his mother, "Your mantra." Sophia persisted. "Let's face it, Mum, without Orlando and me, you'd have nothing to write about. Think about this. Thank me or be sued by me." The next stop down the hall was the bathroom. Suddenly Brett, who had been overhearing all of this from the bath, decided to join in. "You know, A.A. Milne's son never recovered from being written about as Christopher Robin. Ruined his life, it did. Never got over it, never." Hours later, at 2:30 a.m, Giulia, who had been driven to insomnia by this exchange, was in the living room with the sleeping dogs. She was sitting at a table in a quiet circle of lamplight. In front of her, a glass of water, a damp, crumpled handkerchief, and the manuscript she continued to work on.